Now you see something. Now you see now. You done fucked up, you know that, don't you?
I
See what I'm saying?
I thought.
No, so you're saying that you done fucked up now, you know that, don't you?
And it's a funeral, so I'm emotional. I'm crying. I'm a mess. No. No. She wasn't ready. She wasn't ready.
What's going on? What's up? What's up? It's been a long time. I was watching Coliseum with AB Media, and I'm still, I'm still up. So you know what I do, man. Sometimes I provide an outlet, um, because basically ain't nothing else, ain't nobody else is live, man. So I decide to go live every now and again. I'm compelled to do so. Tonight is just one of those nights that just kind of fits the narrative, I guess. Um, I don't really I don't really have anything too much pressing as far as any topics or anything like that. I just let it flow how it flows. Um, as far as me, my YouTube channel or whatever. I mean, I don't have any plans on, like, retiring no time soon or anything like that. I just been kind of just focused on things outside of the online world, just trying to get done with my house and you know prepare for the fall and coming winter. um Trying to hustle, man, to make a buck, and doing stuff like that, man. I ain't you know really been on here like that. um and another thing is that it's just it's certain priorities that I have that I probably should have had a lot sooner. Like, most of the things I focus on primarily is financial related. I don't I don't really waste my time too much concerning myself about identity politics, he said, she said stuff, uh, really, even to be honest, relationship shit. Like I think the last time I talked about relationships or whatever, I basically said I gave a story when I was like 16 or 17. I think I was like 16. And it was a dude that, what's going on, T Riller? It was a dude that was like, I want to say he was in his 20s. He was riding a motorcycle, and he had a chick that was in a car following him. And that's kind of the narrative, that kind of what I was talking about, was like, basically, if you're the, cat's meow or whatever, let's just say, women gonna follow you regardless of, you know, um whatever you got going on. Women will follow you, as far as, like, if you the dude that is to be followed, they gonna follow you. They gonna listen to you, and that's that. Trying to, like, I guess, force the situation or whatever. Um, that necessarily, I won't say that necessarily is it works, or it might have, even if I, maybe tried to do that in the past. I think that was just kind of let's just say, a fool's gambit. But yeah, I mean, even that whole thing with the whole relationship thing, um, it's really it's really no point to it, because when you focus on your main problems, such as mainly health, finance. I mean, you already know what, what I'm saying, you need to do and all of that type of stuff as far as to um get you some type of female companionship or whatever the case may be. You already know what you got to do. I mean, when I started like coming on YouTube, well, a long time ago, I was on YouTube first in like 2008. But when I came online to, kind of hold the whole podcast, like red pill stuff, that was like 2016. Um, it didn't evolve like the whole YouTube space then is not like it is. It wasn't like it is now. Like, it has evolved. A lot of people, really, to be honest, I mean, you already know this. A lot of people really evolved to, like, the whole, all the acronyms, the SYSBM, the MGTOWs, IMOR, uh, all of these little acronyms, right? Everybody pretty much consolidated to the nearest post office or passport facility and got a fucking passport. Okay, that that is the change or the evolution that pretty much people evolve to. Okay, that I mean, like, that's fucked up. I mean, I'm on a person that went to school very in depth in sociology. That's not a good situation for men to have to travel far to go get some type of female companionship. I'm not gonna say that's a win. Like, it's like, that's a good thing to be proud of. No, that's not what I'm saying. That is the, that's not good. Okay, because you gotta think about it. Like, if you gotta go to another country, or it's in your best interest to do so, right? That means the women in your country is fucked up. And it's like, okay, you could talk about why that is, or why the women are fucked up. And I've done so many a million times. But the fact that's the case, that's the fucked up part. that's that's the fucked up part about it. Like, the fact that you actually have to do that, you know what I'm saying? That's the part where, it's not nothing to necessarily be proud of. It's just, that's what people have evolved to at this point. That's what they evolved to. Basically, traveling far and wide to find somebody to, be with or whatever. Um, because people, it's kind of difficult in this country, um, with the whole dating and mating situation. And I say all of that to say, that's not gonna change. I don't think anytime soon. Definitely. And I just think it's in your best interest to just get your financial situation in order. Be as healthy as you possibly can. Um, if you can get somebody in this country, that's cool. If you can't, I mean, you know what to do. You 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 know and that could even be in this country. Like, you know what to do. As a man, I'm not gonna tell no other man what he got to do or what he should do with his you know fucking dick. Like, you know what you got to do to get what you want. You know, all I'm saying is a lot of the people um, has just kind of, you know, got their passport and you know that's what they do every now and again. They go overseas. Okay, even me. You know, earlier this year, I finally, you know, hopped on a plane and just said fuck it and went and left this motherfucker for a while, for a few days actually, and it was cool, you know. Learned some things, saw some things that is still inspiring. All I got to do is just think, like, just replay everything I saw in my head, and I could just be like, damn, man, you know. Um, it was a refreshing experience. Uh, but yeah, I mean that's pretty much kind of my whole mindset really is, and it's not really nothing new. I mean that's really kind of what my channel was about, and um you know that's you know pretty much my whole modus operandi. Get money, you know, get healthy, have a good state of mind, have some type of faith, um so you can keep doing it, you know, so you can keep rinsing and repeating it. Now I have even evolved as far as financial, you know, in the world of finance, I could say, because when I started, I knew a little bit about the stock market. I was trying, well, I had already bought one house, failed miserably, learned a lot, got a terrible situation with a rent to own, learned about that, actually did fix a house up and got it up to code. That was like a first time I've ever did that. Then I, you know, went and bought another house with a totally different financial situation too, because I never I never did contract for deed before. I never did that. So that was like my first time doing that. I still have never gotten a mortgage. You know, so you know, if you wanna, if you know, I've yet to get a mortgage. The whole mortgage meltdown stuff, you can't blame me for that because I ain't never got no mortgage. I wanted one, but I never got one. You know, so I was just thinking about that today. Like, yeah, I never got no mortgage, so shoot, I'm not included in that whole debacle that happened in 2008. Ain't got nothing to do with that. So yeah, the thing is that yeah, I mean, I've evolved as far as the things I've done. Even now, I'm not even so much trying to trade straight stocks anymore. I'm trying to get more into options. I'm doing more options trades, taking more risks, uh realizing basically like options is a way, if you could learn options trading, you can kind of hit the ball out the park. Like you can, that's a way where you can kind of like, you can kind of get rich over time. Like, you know, like you could just make significant gain if you know. I mean, because options is advanced trading. You know, first you start off, you know, learning the charts, learning different chart patterns, learning different technical and fundamental analysis. You know, learn all that stuff, and then what you're supposed to do is take all of that, and then of course learn the Greeks and get into options trading, because that's where that's where you know things are advanced, and that's like the rich man's playground, you know, options trading. It's advanced, it's very, very risky. That's where you going into like where it's almost like you're kind of gambling. I will say that because when options, whether you pick good, whether you pick if you pick wrong, meaning you out of the money, you stand to lose everything you have you know, basically invested. So it is, you know, it is not for the faint of heart, you know. So um it's the most riskiest probably part of trading, but it's you can gain the most though, you know. You can also lose the most though. So you know, yeah, I'm definitely evolving. Yet you know, it's still you know, I still ain't got no like. I mean, I don't, it ain't like you know, I still ain't got no rich friends and nothing like that that I'm close to, or I ain't found no rich broad that you know like me and no shit like that. Ain't shit changed like as far as that. Like, you know, I'm still, I mean, you know, I'm still pretty much out of you know the whole circle of rich people and all that type of shit. Like you know, I'm still in the trenches. Let's just say, you know, but um, you know, it takes some effort to get out the trenches, man. You gotta think about it like, you know, as far as the trenches, some people never get out of the trenches. You know, some people just kind of like they just stay in the trenches their whole life. Like, and some people don't even know they in the trenches. They don't even, you know, they don't even think it's, you know, they don't even think about it like that. And it's like, man, it's crazy, right? So it's this like uh gated community, right? And I really don't like this gated community. I mean, I still do DoorDash, and I know some people like really like they really just be like DoorDash is just it's just like I get it. I understand about DoorDash. Like DoorDash is like you just seem like you're it seems like a failure type of situation. Like you're a failure if you do DoorDash. I mean, hey, you know, it's it's a hustle. Um it is a fucking like it's a poor man's job. I ain't gonna. I give you that. Like, yeah, like DoorDash. It's a poor man's job because I mean, just about anybody could do it. I mean, you picking up. You know, like my uncle, he joked around. He said, "You picking up hamburgers? you, you picking up hamburgers and shit." Like, I mean, yeah. Like the thing is though, um all of that I give you that, but you gotta think about it, man. If you really kind of like you're a struggling upstart like most people, you gotta do something. Okay. um you gotta get some money from somewhere, and and here's the thing, right? I got people I know, man, that you know it's kind of famous, man. You know, but you gotta think about it though. It's some people that are famous and they're broke, and you just don't think about it. You just think everybody that's famous has got money, and it's not. Man, you'll be surprised, man. You'll be surprised. You'll be very, very surprised about like people that you like are famous, like been on TV, been on movies, um shit, might even been a A-list celebrity at one time or not. And they absolutely like got busted. And you just wouldn't know. I mean, nobody's gonna tell you like, yeah, I'm busted. You have no idea. And what I'm saying is that instead of the reason why people don't want to do shit like that, like DoorDash and stuff. I mean, it's certain things you could do outside of that, right? Like you could medical couriering. I'm trying to get into that. I heard that pays way more and, grocery delivery, but then that's the same thing with DoorDash. Like it's very similar, but nobody really wants to do that shit either. But the thing is that you don't want to be the broke motherfucker that's trying to keep up appearances by not hustling or doing certain things like DoorDash or whatever the fuck, and just in order to keep up with appearances, you in essence are broker than you normally would even be, because you really should be doing stuff like DoorDash. Like you just don't want to be that type of person. And I I can't be that person. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, man, the ends justify the means. Um I found a way. I got a little system that I basically I don't pick up nothing unless it's like at least $1 a mile. Like I'm like a trucker. I look at this shit. I look at it like trucking. I gotta make at least $1 a mile. I don't care if you know, what I'm saying. You don't select certain orders or whatever. You won't get, your rate might go down or whatever. Don't give a shit about that. It's got to be at least $1 a mile. And ever since I kind of done that and a couple other things I've done, shit, I make like at least like on a real good day make like 100 and something dollars. Like I think like the other day I made like $150. Now, um, even with what I do for like work and stuff in the Midwest, in Chicago, in the Chicago area, I normally like when I like work in IT, normally make like about 200 and some dollars a day, like maybe like 250, 225, something like that. So making 150 to drive around, deliver food and shit, it's not fucking bad, Of course there's an added expense as far as you wear and tear on your car and shit like that, that you know what I'm saying, you kind of taking a risk for, and it can get really costly with that, because you basically running down your car. um it's some things also like I might be doing that might be an extra benefit as far as health. Like you can ride your bike and do DoorDash. Like, so I am near a major city, uh Chicago, right? Downtown Chicago, the Loop. So I can just go downtown. I got a new bike. I got a electronic bike basically that it's basically I got to do a review on it. Um I got like it's a hay bike. It's called a hay bike Mars. Pay like about $1,000 for it. Goes like 32 miles an hour. Think it goes up to like 70 miles on a charge. So I might try to like go downtown and just do that. Just ride my bike, try to lose some weight and shit. Try to, kind of just work out while I'm trying to make money. Kind of kill two birds with one stone. And then, the thing about it, this is why I do DoorDash. I'll explain it. I mean, obviously the money aspect there's no denying that. Er- Everybody know I need money. Um, but another thing is, I mean, it kind of gives me something to fucking do. I'm not saying I'm like some retired old man, but I basically, I'm divorced. I don't live with my children. I basically be my myself a lot, right? So it gives me a way where I can just be out and shit, just do some bird watching, maybe flirt a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Get some steps in, walk around, you doing some exercising. So it's like, yeah, it's a multi-layered benefit, that's how I look at it. But the thing is that shit, downtown Chicago, everything I just said, it's even better. Like, as far as bird watching, it don't get no better than downtown besides probably Miami, LA, Atlanta, New York, other places or whatever. So yeah, I mean, I'm a hustler, man. It's just um it's just like an easy way for me to hustle, man. I mean, don't get me wrong, as far as like being embarrassing and shit, like, yeah, I guess what helps is I ain't gonna lie to you, right? So I'm not from Indiana, okay? So don't nobody even know me, but I will be honest with you. I'm not, I'm one of the things about me. I do keep it real more than most people because I just feel compelled to do so. You said when you said bird watch, and I thought you were literally talking. No, I do like birds, man, but now I'm talking about ladies, man. I do like birds though. I like owls and shit like that, but not like that. Now I've never went bird watching, actually bird watching. No, I'm not that old yet. Maybe when I get real old, maybe I might actually do some. Maybe when my dick stop working, I start doing actual bird watching with my man at
Pause.
But nah, the thing is like I was saying, uh, yeah, cause I live in Indiana. Don't nobody really like. I rarely see anybody that I know that's like in my travels in Indiana. So, uh, I can kind of like blend in because don't nobody know me. Like, so basically, I have no reason to be really embarrassed because I don't know any of these people. You know what I'm saying? But when because I don't live that far from where I kind of grew up, but when I do go in that area, which sometimes I veer toward that area, I am conscious about, damn, is somebody gonna see my ass? Is you know what I'm saying? Like, I do think about it. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, be thinking, you know what I'm saying, keeping up with appearances and shit. I'll be like, if I go close to the south suburbs of Chicago, which I'm only like 15 minutes from there. So it's a very good um chance that I would go in the area, right? Yeah, I am conscious about damn somebody gonna see my ass and all that. Nah, but I don't really think about that, man. I don't, at the end of the day, because the thing is that, it's, you got to get paid, man. You can't worry about what people think about you and shit like that. A lot of people are struggling. They just, what people do is they just hide it. You know, it's David Groggins. He said that he said something, you know, like a short reel or whatever. He said motherfuckers just hide that shit better than you do. That's all that means. Like, you thinking everybody doing good or somebody doing good, they just not telling you nothing bad. I got family members, man. They don't never hardly tell me nothing bad. And it's like, you know, I don't know what the fuck they be going through other than like stuff that they gotta say, you know, they gotta, you know, tell me because they just like really sick or something like that. But other than that, like, they don't say nothing about anything that they going through. Like, they just you know what I'm saying, you only hear about it from other people and you like, damn, I mean, why you ain't tell me, man? I mean, you know, I used to see your little stanky diapers and shit when you was a baby, and now you keep your secrets from me and shit, you know. But the thing is that people just, they just want to hide their dirty laundry, man. That's all. You ain't got nobody really gotta hide nothing from me. I mean, I don't think every black person is struggling, no. But statistically, I know the stats. You know, I've raveled off I've rattled off stats on this channel plenty of times. I know the stats, you know, and it's the thing about it is, back to this like little gated community and stuff that I was talking about earlier. This gated, you know, Indiana is mostly white. It's like it's only like 10% black in the whole state. And a good majority of that probably is Northwest Indiana, that's basically near Chicago, in Indianapolis. Outside of that, man, Indiana is mostly white. So the thing about it is, like, this little gated community, and what I was basically talking about while I'm talking about the gated community is, like, it's this like middle class little gated community and kind of deep in Northwest Indiana. People that probably are from Northwest Indiana, they know what I'm talking about. They think they doing good. They got a golf cart. I mean, they like, man, they live in the American dream, right? But to me, I mean, they like, you know, cause you know what I'm saying, you know, I've been around because, you know, I do, you know, I do DoorDash deliveries a lot and stuff. So I seen the rich people. I seen where they live, shit. I seen their gated community. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, um, the little gated community with the lake and the golf carts and shit, you know, they think they doing something, and they little, you know, $300,000 house, maybe $400,000 house. But then I seen houses that's multi-million dollars and shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, that's what I'm impressed by. Like, you know, I lived in places like where, you know, this little gated community with a lake and a golf cart and stuff. And it's got a golf course on it too. But you know, the illusion is people think that they middle class. And it's even, you know, white people even think that. You know what I'm saying? They think that there's a such thing as middle class. And you know, I'm really on that tip where I don't think people really understand what truly is middle class. You know, and it's like, a lot of times, man, people just be in their own little dream world, you know, thinking that they, you know, doing something in a middle class. But uh, you know, the thing is, as far as DoorDash and shit, it's a hustle, man. You know, to be honest with you, I wish DoorDash was around when I had my store. Because I remember, you know, some really rough days when I had my computer store on the south side of Chicago, and this was like 2009. and wasn't no fucking DoorDash. And this was during basically a severe recession. You know, it was the mortgage collapse. You know, people. It was like so many people out of work. It was super hard to get a job, and I was looking for an opportunity to, like, you know, make some money and stuff, and you know, because you struggling, and trying to pay for your bills and expenses and all of the type, all of the business stuff, man. It's business is very, very, very difficult. If I had DoorDash back then, man, I would have loved to have the opportunity to do DoorDash, because shit, I needed some money after I closed up my store to, kind of help me sustain my business, and I didn't have that. So, all that Uber and stuff and all that, it wasn't really around like that, man. Um, so it's like it's so many opportunities now. It's crazy, man. If you the type of person, you avoid the opportunity, and you struggling, your pockets is on empty, and you just don't want to do something because you trying to keep up appearances. Mm-mm. Nah, man. Especially if you got kids, man. Your kids can't eat appearances, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, my daughter, I bought her a bike. She just learned how to ride a bike. You know what I'm saying? Appearances, keeping up with appearances ain't gonna get a bike for her so she can learn how to ride a bike. You know what I'm saying? It's appearances ain't gonna do that shit. It's like it's worse shit than DoorDash, to be honest, man. Working in a fucking warehouse is it kind of sucks. People don't necessarily see you in a warehouse, but the fact that you in that warehouse, man, sucks balls. I mean, the warehouse work is tough, man. Especially if you're not getting paid that much. That's a tough job, man. That people working at Amazon
Pause.
shit. People be working at Amazon and all that type of stuff, man. That's kind of crazy, man. I would hate to have to do that again, but I would, and I have done it. But I would hate to have to do that again, man. Shoot, this shit sucks. I have no problems with AI just totally taking that over. Just taking the whole warehouse work, just taking it over. You giving people giving people, I don't know, whatever they need, man. But shoot, they don't have to work in no warehouse, man. All they got to do is touch a machine. I know a lot of people gonna be out of work and stuff like that, because it's people that's all they know how to really do, or whatever, or they comfortable doing, working in the warehouse. I mean, you know kudos to those people. But nah, I mean, it's harder stuff. Like, okay, working construction is harder than working in a warehouse. But with construction, you building somebody a home, you building somebody a commercial building. It's very, very difficult work, but you getting paid pretty good doing it. And you know what I'm saying? You got something coming from it. Like, it's some type of fulfillment in it. You building a condo unit, you building some townhomes. It's hard work, man. It's backbreaking work, but it's technically worse than working construction. I mean, working a warehouse, but you getting paid a lot more than working in a warehouse. But it's definitely hard work. It's hard labor, and you part of a union usually, and You know what I'm saying? You got guaranteed work and guaranteed wages and all that type of stuff. I think that's part of I think that's like socialism or something. I think unions are associated with Marxism. I'm not 100% sure about that. But yeah, he said, "Is your baby mother Indian or Ethiopian?" That could have been possible as far as the Ethiopian. I had like first chick I got pregnant. She was half Ethiopian. Um, but nah, not that might be true. Give me about a year or two. I'm working on that. But that's my secret. I only disclosed it this one time. Uh Shit, I can't get past this fucking board to save my life. But yeah, that's actually something that's kind of that's kind of one of the reasons why I wanted to get a damn passport. That damn question. I ain't gonna lie to you. That's one of the reasons. That's actually one of the reasons why I even want to travel. I've been trying to go to Ethiopia, man, for like years. I that was what I was gonna do probably either this year or after next year. I gotta go to my father's country first, and then after I go there, definitely that's where I'm trying to go. Kenya too, man. I mean East Africa, just East Africa in general, man. But definitely, yeah. Man, I mean Ethiopia, man. They got some of the most beautiful women on earth. Like real ancient women, like Queen of Sheba and shit like that. But um, Kenya and Uganda and all that, man, they got some of the most, I mean, just humongous, like hips, ass ratio that you ever seen in your life. Like, um, it's crazy. South Africa too. Like, I mean, just crazy. They call those motherland booties. They got that in Ghana though too though. they got that. They got that here, bro. Like that's that's how I met old girl that was half Ethiopian, man. I met her. I'm like they call it Ghana Fest. They have that every year. I was with my homie, and we went there, and yeah, what I'm saying, the rest was history. But yeah, I ain't trying. The good thing is, yeah, it happened, whatever. But it was like, I ain't gonna say that it was. It kind of ended bittersweet, really bitter. Um, Before I even probably even knew what red pill rage or all that type of shit, or even MGTOW and all that. Like that was kind of what I was on, because man, shit, shorty kind of like, man, kind of fucked me up. I had to change up my whole game plan, and I really didn't change up my game plan. I mean, I just had to stop basically really, I guess, dealing with strags. I would say I had to learn how to not deal with strags, or deal with strags, let's just say, because strags come in all shapes and sizes and colors. um so that was what I had to learn. um but yeah, man, that's definitely I mean, that was the whole, like, I I mean, to be honest, like I was supposed to have a passport a long time ago. This is my second time applying for my passport. I was supposed to have a passport in when did I apply for that passport? I think it was like 2009, I want to say. And I don't know, they was on some bullshit back then. Couldn't get the passport. Long story short, it was this Ethiopian chick that I was supposed to go over and see, and I was supposed to get married. I don't know how that would have worked out, but she was like somewhere in one of those Middle Eastern countries working. I was supposed to go over there, um, but couldn't get my passport, and had to just had to pretty much stop talking to her because it wasn't possible without no passport unless I want to be on some old like rogue type shit, which wasn't really that serious about that. Like being a migrant or whatever, a migrant traveler, I guess. I don't know. But now, shoot, Biden, he done flooded the border. He done flooded the border with a whole bunch of Hispanics. All kind of people, man, came through Mexico. I mean, shoot, you just walk around, man, and wherever the migrants are, because like in Chicago, it's like certain designated zones where the migrants are. And I mean, but it's mainly the migrants that I see. Mainly, most of them are like adult men that's looking to work. Like, okay, so it's a Home Depot like in Chicago, and it was known for primarily Mexicans. They used to hang out there in the morning to look for work, to like try to get somebody to hop on a truck or whatever to go work for a day, do day work or whatever. And then now it's like it's Africans out there. Like I never saw any Africans at Home Depot trying to work, but now that's who's out there. It's tripped out. Like it's the Africans are on one side, and then the Hispanics are on another side, and they both trying to get some work or whatever for the day. So yeah, I mean it's a lot more than just Hispanics that came over the border. Um, it's Asians too, Africans. Uh, some people trying to go. They trying to bypass the United States. They trying to go to Canada, but I don't know. I mean, shoot, the Democrat, or it's not even really the Democrats. I said it before. It's the elites. Like they made it to where they don't even got to worry about going to Canada or nothing. America is accepting them coming in the country. They trying to get them licenses, the right to vote, the ability to carry firearms, uh, to get driver's license to drive. I mean, what I'm saying, they trying to basically legitimize these people, man. So they don't have nothing to really concern themselves over, to just trying to get some money so they can survive. But yeah, they not trying to really deport them or nothing like that. So I don't know, man. It's tripped out, but I mean, I guess I say all that to say, shoot, you don't even really, I guess you don't really even have to travel outside anymore. They already here. Shoot. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Whatever you looking for, they already here, man. I mean, they got Ethiopians. Shit, I know where the Ethiopians at in Chicago. Shit. Shit, I know where they at. Like they here, you know what I'm saying? Like if that's what you like. Indians, I know where they be. They be right where the Ethiopians be. And then they be like on a they got a in Illinois, they have a city that they just might they just they I ain't gonna say they took it over because it's not a lot of them to just take it over, but they pretty much made it their home. So it's this city called Naperville in Illinois, and it's a pretty well to do city. It's like really really good place to live, and a lot of the Indians through word of mouth they just moved there, like they just like people in India, Naperville, Illinois is so like popular. The Indians in India know about Naperville, so when they come to Illinois, they come to move to Naperville, just to live, because that's where they are. You know what I'm saying? And then they moving into politics like the Indians. Shit, they about to probably they might have an Indian president. Kamala Harris, man. She, you know what I'm saying? They got dude Ramaswamy or whatever. He might, if Trump win, he might make it to the cabinet. Shoot, they really, man, just what I'm saying, as far as representation, they really they really in the politics heavy, man. They represented really really high up the scale of politics, you know what I'm saying? So they trying to integrate into a American society, and they're doing a pretty good job at it. But yeah, the one of the things about every probably ethnicity though, or culture, let's just say, once they get into America, they don't really want to fuck with you like that. Like when it's a difference between any other, if you say a Dominican, right? It's a difference between a Dominican in the Dominican Republic, and it's a difference between a Dominican in America. A Dominican in America, she's gonna most likely stick with her Dominicans, you know. Um, they what I'm saying, they gonna stick with their own culture in America because they already here. They don't really have to do anything. They don't have to, like, one of the reasons they kind of deal with an American or someone else, a foreigner that travels to their homeland, is because that's a way for them to get out of their homeland. So if they're in America already, they like kind of bougie already, they don't really have no interest really too much to deal with you. You can still deal with them, but they tribe up when they get to America. And the Indians are the same way. And they're tribal in India too. So it might be a little difficult to go to India and try to do that, but I don't know. I still haven't traveled to India yet. He said, "Oh yeah, you and me both, bruh. Oh yeah, yeah. They got him. They got him. What's going on? Underrated darkness. Good morning. Yeah, they got him, man. They got strags in every walk of life, man. The strags, all cultures, all ethnicities, subprime women, I call them. Yep, they everywhere. and they spreading too. They spreading like gremlins. Subprime women are spreading like gremlins. That's why it's so. That's why the dating. That's why dating is so fucked up in America, or so hard in America. It's cause primarily because of subprime women. You know, it's like they spreading like gremlins. A woman listen to another woman, and a woman listen to a strag, and she get turned out by a strag, and then next thing you know, she's a strag. Then she spread her message to another woman, then she's a strag. It's like, oh, if you ever saw the movie Gremlins, that's how that shit spread, man. They just next thing you know, they at the BET concert and they twerking and shit. And then you got the president twerking and shit, or around a whole bunch of chicks twerking. It's like they like gremlins, man. They spread fast. You damn near, even to be honest, like it's like dudes that brought. Okay, so it's dudes that I know. I know them. I don't know them well, but I know of them and I know them, right? So, back when I was like practicing, I was kind of really religious. I was really into, going to the mass year and, around a lot of, the brothers and stuff, man, going to the mass year and all that. It was some dudes that went to Ethiopia to find a wife. There was one dude in particular. He went to Ethiopia. He got a chick from Ethiopia, brought her back over to America. Next thing you know, she like basically ventured off, left him, and she was just, basically Americanized. Like she was going to the club, she was meeting dudes. Like, it's like, screw him. Uh, you know, you know what I'm saying? Like that's like what happens sometimes. Like when women come over here from like once they get here from another country, they get what I'm saying, Americanized or whatever, and then there you go, your all your efforts what I'm saying, is wasted. You basically just had a good time, not for a long time, and now your woman is just another American citizen. What I'm saying? Another American gremlin. What I'm saying? Horror story. Like you just let her, unleashed her to the other gremlins, and she got converted. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't know, man. I mean, I guess you definitely got to vet. Can't be so thirsty. The thirstiness is what's gonna get you. If you thirsty, that shit gonna get you, man. It just, that thirstiness, man, will have you do anything, man, to get a chick, man. Like, cause I could say, oh yeah, strags and all that. I could talk about strags for days, but honestly, okay, what's drawing you into, or even why are you dealing with a strag? Okay, why are you dealing with, okay, subprime women? Why did I deal with them? I was fucking thirsty. I was so, I didn't have, I guess I'll be honest, I didn't have that many options, and I was thirsty, and I was really, really hungry for, um saying, dealing with a chick, man. And I was willing to put up with shit that I didn't look at things like, okay, this ain't the only woman on earth and shit. Like, there's other women, I mean, obviously I knew that, but it's like, man, when you thirsty, you think like you gonna miss out. You think like, oh man, I gotta put up with this type of stuff or whatever. You know, I want to put up with it because you're still getting sexual access and all of that stuff, and that's what you want. You want it so much that willing to put up with shit. And it's like, yeah, that's how you get got. It's not so much me. It's always been women like this. It's been women like this before I was born. It's like the man in the mirror. I can't just say yeah, because some dudes say that. Like, it's some dudes like, yeah, strags, and they call them all kind of different names or whatever. They say, okay, you can call them whatever, right? But okay, one, why are you dealing with them? And two, why are you drawn? What is it about you that you will be drawn to a strag, to a subprime woman that is basically not worth the risk, and is basically um a bad investment. I mean, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, like, what is the reason you're drawn to those women, or you dealing with women like that? Because you really got to be honest with yourself and ask those questions, because if you're like the type of person, man, because I hear people that be like, and probably I even said it, just have fun with them and don't take them serious. Now, I say, don't even deal with them at all. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, why would you even, okay, why would you want to deal with gremlins? Okay, at the end of the day, let's just look at it like, a harsher word. Why would you want to deal with a gremlin? Okay, she gonna after you gonna she gonna eat after dark, drink water, and then she gonna multiply into some more gremlins. Like, why would you want to deal with a gremlin? Like, you really want to have fun with a gremlin? You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Black Ram. He called them chaos goblins. Why would you want to deal with a chaos goblin? You know what I'm saying? Like, just because you just want to have some short-term fun. Your short-term fun might turn into long-term pain. Okay. And it could be various situations. I'm not even gonna go into that. But it could be various forms of um possible painful scenarios that cause you pain, because you know what I'm saying, you choosing to deal with women like that, because there's women that are not like that. It's probably not that many, because the gremlins are taking over, right? They took over America at this point. That's why the dating world in America is so fucked up, right? But the thing is that, you know, why deal with them when you got other women that are not? I don't, even if it might be difficult to not deal with them because it's not that many women that are not like that, right? Why even waste your time to be dealing with gremlins when you got other women that are not? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't suggest you, I don't even suggest you have, at this point, you don't even want to play around with this shit. Like, you don't want to have no fun, none of that goofy shit. You don't got time to waste. You know what I'm saying? Just don't even deal with that shit. Get you somebody that ain't no damn gremlin. You know what I'm saying? Don't even deal with that shit, man. And I'm speaking from past experiences, man. I definitely have gotten have been some painful scenarios dealing with women like that, man, of all walks of life. You know what I'm saying? It just you know what I'm saying, at the end of the day, just really you know, just, man, you can have everything. Like, I ain't gonna lie, like the chick I was with, the Ethiopian chick or whatever, half Ethiopian. I think she was like half Ethiopian, half African American or something. Like, I'm talking about she had the motherland booty, she had the moon forehead or whatever. Like she was all right, she was straight. But you can have all of that. Like it could be another woman that ain't like that you can be with that have everything just like that, if not even better. It's just you you know what I'm saying? You think that, you get a lot of dudes get mesmerized by women's bodies and their looks and shit like that. And they're total strags. And then you dealing with them. You could be with somebody that's just like that, if not better, and it's not a strag. That concept just, a lot of times it guys don't get it till they, older or whatever. You know, shout out to the guys that do get it or whatever. What's going on, Seeking My Creator? It's just, yeah, man. That's just, that's how I look at it, man. I don't, it's difficult. I ain't gonna lie, man. It's some difficulty shit. If you don't have that many options, it might be kind of difficult concept to grasp upon. I get that, but yeah, man, it's chicks in America, man. They get in their little tribes, man. When they get to America, um, it's like they already in the land of milk and honey, man. They made it. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't need you for nothing at that point, and they'll rather talk to somebody that speaks their same language, dialogue, or dialect or whatever. It's kind of like that, man. It's but they are every ethnicity is here. Every culture, damn near, is in this country, man. Whatever your flavor is, like they here. It's not that many of them. You're not gonna every day. You're not gonna see a South African. You're not gonna see even you gonna see Africans, but you ain't gonna see like a Ugandan every day. Like you, it's not like what I'm saying. It's not that many, but everybody's here. You know, pretty much, just about like a small percentage. Um, but yeah, I don't focus on all that shit, man. I'm trying to get my money, man. Trying to get, I rather give me a nice house, a real nice house. You know what I'm saying? Nice fleet of cars. You know, and then maybe I might start like a whole bunch of money, man. And then I might be like, damn, okay, I should start thinking about women a little bit more. Like that's just kind of how I look at it, man. And I definitely, like I said, I'm not thinking about like other shit that doesn't revolve around basically capital, because it's just so much that is based around capital. Like this whole country, a lot of this country is based around capital. Nobody really takes you serious if you don't have no capital. Let's just be honest. Like people don't you can't really conversate about things when you don't have capital because it's not possible. You know, can't get what you want. You can't really live the life that you really want to live without capital. You could technically you could be the poorest person. You could be broke as fuck, man. You could be in poverty, and you could still get women. You could get women that have money. You could get rich women. You could get any woman that'll pretty much like who you are as a person. Like no matter whatever your financial standing is. But the thing is trying to get a financial standing, that's that's hard. That's harder to get. I done been with a whole bunch of women, man. I mean, um, but I've yet to become a millionaire. You know what I'm saying? Or higher. I mean, what's harder, like to become a millionaire or to get some fucking women or a woman? A millionaire for you know 100, Alex. You know what I'm saying? Like that's that's how I look at it, man. It's always been that case, man. But it's like it's just that's just kind of really where my focus has been, man. I just, man, I every day I just try to weed out the bullshit and I try to get to the money, man. I try, and of course there's other things besides money. It's like, you know, you gotta try to, do what you gotta do, man. That's all. I mean, I got a lot of things I gotta do. I still gotta work on my house, and what I'm saying, it's not gonna fix itself. I gotta do that, you know. Ideally, that if I had a whole, the money to pay somebody, I would, but I what I'm saying, I don't have that, so I gotta be the one to do it. That sucks, but it is what it is. That's why people go get mortgages, man. They go get a house that's fully repaired and rehabbed and renovated, but then they go, get a mortgage, and then the house is, they got to pay that bill every month to the mortgage company, and interest, and you know taxes and escrow, probably most likely insurance, all of that's rolled in. And you got you got the house you want, everything is move in ready. But if you know math, and I'm not no mathematician by far, I'm no mathematician or nothing like that. But if you know math, you know over a 30-year mortgage, you're gonna almost pay 3 times whatever the price of the house is. If you just know general, I mean, I'm talking about, that's like general math, maybe I would say, uh maybe college math at the most, maybe financial math, maybe possibly, or business math. If you know that, if you know how to break down APR or interest rate and calculate it by 12 months and 360 months, which is 30 years, is 360 months. you know if you stay in a house for 30 years and you just pay one payment every month, which most people do not. It's like a very small percentage of people that pay double payments or triple payments or anything like that. Very, very small percentage, because it's very, very difficult for most people to even pay 1 month's payment for their mortgage. To pay 2 months, it's very difficult for people to do that. And what I've been, and I'm, now that I'm talking about this, I'm hearing that some people are going into foreclosure. Some people are kind of, you know, in a situation where they might have to sell their house, or they have to put their house on the market because they're either facing foreclosure. Like I listened to some dude that was talking about people in Nevada. They're in Las Vegas, they're having issues with foreclosure. So I mean, I don't know, man. I don't. I don't know for sure, but it just seemed like they trying to replay 2008. Like I have that kind of like it's like a feeling. Like it seems like they trying to run it back. Of course it'll be, different, but seems like they trying to run it back. I don't know, man. And I don't want that to be the case. Um, but it just seems like it, man. I don't know for sure. I hope I'm not true. I hope I'm wrong, but it just seems like they trying to run this shit back, man. I don't know. I'm looking at car lots and they filled to the brim. Ain't nobody buying no damn cars like that. I don't know, man. It just kind of just some weird, what I'm saying, things that I'm seeing. I don't know. Like I don't see no car lots going out of business. Cause I mean definitely that's a sign. If you see like car lots going out of business and shit, like it's not a good sign. Um but I do see a whole bunch of, I mean, I haven't watched any car dealer dudes or whatever, car finance guys talking about the car market, but I have been noticing in my area it's just been a bunch of cars on a lot just filled up, like. And of course a lot of cars are overpriced because everything, the inflation, like cars are super overpriced, right? So I just see a whole bunch of cars on the lot, but you know, and a lot of times I notice I see cars on the lot it as well now that I think about it in my local area, and I don't even see nobody like walking around like looking at the cars, or what I'm saying, like you see a car dealer, you see people out shopping for cars, like going, walking around a car lot, seeing what they can get. I don't see that. Like I be driving past car dealers like regularly. I don't even see that, so I don't know, man. It's kind of strange, man. I don't know, but hopefully they not trying to run 2008 back again. Um, because then you're gonna have a housing bubble basically that basically bursts. Then you gonna, what I'm saying, is like the whole 2008 thing was people lost their jobs, people basically lost their ability to pay their mortgage. Then it was just like, man, it was just a big kerfuffle. um I hope that's not coming back. I hope they're not trying to replay that, because the only people that benefit from that type of economy that happened in 2008 is basically people that have the money to invest, because a lot of people made money during that time, because when there's times of basically that would be kind of like a deflationary period, because everything dropped, like housing prices just dropped. House was 100,000, now it's on the market for 15,000 or $1, that's what I paid for my house. Well, it wasn't $1, but after all the fees, it was like $1,000. But the house, you know, the house was listed, or it was sold at one time for over $100,000. Somebody had a mortgage on it. Um, so yeah, the thing is that in that time period, the only people that really thrive is people that have the money to invest in basically liquidated assets. Okay, cars, were liquidated during that time. They were cheap during that time, and then obviously houses or basically real estate was really low as far as prices, like liquidated prices. So if you didn't have money during that time, it was just a hard time. Just like any other time if you don't have any money, but even worse because you don't have the money to really survive that situation. And then you don't even have the money to invest. You don't have the money to buy any assets that are liquidated. Or you might have the money, but you don't know what to do. You need to know what to do during hard times. Like basically Robert Kiyosaki, the author of Rich Dad Poor Dad, he mentioned he loved times during that, like when it's like a financial collapse or something like that. That's an opportunity to basically invest. So like another person, Warren Buffett, he said if a person is scared to invest, that means you should be confident to invest. If a person is overconfident, that's a sign that you should kind of worry a little bit more, or be conservative, about your investments. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody really knows that. Like I had to learn that. Like when 2008, I thought I was gonna lose my shirt. I probably did lose my shirt at that time. I didn't know what was going on. I thought the sky was falling. Market recovered. Mostly all of everybody that didn't have to file bank, or even some of the companies that did have to file bankruptcy, they recovered. Like Sirius XM, they basically Sirius, they not only recovered, they bought XM radio. Now they're Sirius XM. Then not only that, they bought Pandora. So they prevailed. Or either Pandora bought Sirius, I don't know, Sirius XM, I don't know. Basically, they own two different companies now. They got Pandora, then they also got XM Radio. So they came out of a bankruptcy and recovered. Ford recovered, Chevrolet. They not only filed bankruptcy. They also got government funding, bailout, and they recovered. You know, I mean, AIG recovered. They got a bailout. So the sky wasn't falling. It's just I just didn't know. I had to learn, live and learn. So you gotta you know what I'm saying, you can't go with the fears of everybody else. You gotta kind of go against that. But I mean, the thing is that that's only if you have the money and resources to do. I mean, I could understand you being worried when you don't have, like, most people don't really have a lot of money, right? They don't have a robust emergency fund or even savings to be able to buy extra assets during a time of things being on sale or assets being on sale. Most people barely probably have enough to survive. So I mean, in that situation, I guess, yeah, you only have what you have. You got to try to kind of hold on. It's like you in a tornado or hurricane, you trying to hold on. I mean, I get that. But if you're in a situation where you got, I don't know anybody's personal situation, but you got 25,000, 50,000, $100,000 free and clear cash, all right, or capital. If something happens like 2008 again, man, shit, you need, what I'm saying? Like, you gotta buy everything that you can get. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what happened. Like 2008, a whole bunch of people got rich. They start buying apartment buildings, all kinds of real estate assets. By the time the dust settled, 2010, 2011, 2012, 13, 14, they got all of these properties, and then guess what? People need a place to live. And they was moving into their apartment buildings, and they got rich, and they still rich to this day. You know, so people bought houses and they rented them out or whatever. So it's like, yeah, I mean, you got to train your mind to, you kind of have to go through it, but most people, if you listen and, some people going listen to the message, and it's gonna resonate with them. Some people, they ain't gonna believe it, and they just got to go through it. But hopefully this ain't happening again, man, because I ain't gonna lie, I'm not in the situation, unfortunately, that because if the home prices drop, I would just have to hold on. Like, I don't have any other properties, I don't have any other houses. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit. I mean, if because see, the thing is that if let's say I'm right, if you got a house and your property values is through the roof, it's in your best interest to sell your house. If you got the ability, if you got another place that you know what I'm saying, can live. I mean, obviously you need a place to live, but you don't want to lose $100,000 value on your house. So your house is $200,000, and you bought it for $100,000. You don't want to lose $100,000 because the housing prices start dropping. You want to sell it for $200,000. Like, but I mean, everybody's situation is different, man. It you got to do what you in your best interest. But it's like, if that happens, then housing prices is going to drop, and whatever. I mean, obviously they will drop. It's not this, the prices being high. Okay, yeah, prices been high, before. Then they drop. If it's like pretty much gravity. If the price is high, it's going to eventually go down. That's just how that goes. The market is cyclical. I mean, it's just the real estate is a little different than the stock market, which housing prices don't necessarily fluctuate like the stock market, but they do drop. Like, eventually, yeah. Like, it usually takes a little bit longer time. But if they do drop, then it's certain causes and effects of that. And of course, there's some negative effects of that, because if the housing prices drop and you have a mortgage, then that means that whatever equity you possibly could have had, that goes basically, that pretty much goes away. Now you're quote unquote underwater, because you basically, okay, if you got a mortgage for, let's just say, 150,000, your house is worth 225,000 at the current market. Okay, then housing prices fall. Then your house goes to, the value is 140, where now you're $10,000 underwater. So that's not a big thing, because people usually, they bought a house because they wanted to live there. They just, whatever they want to, raise their family and stuff like that. They not necessarily concerned about that. If it goes down too much, then yeah, a burden. If it goes, $10,000, it probably ain't no big deal. But if it goes like $100,000 to where they now they're underwater 50,000 or more, yeah, people gonna probably start worrying and stuff like that because seriously underwater, meaning you can't sell that house in that market and basically be free and clear of the house because you'd have to sell it for a loss because you owe more than what your house is worth. So that's why it's called underwater. So those types of situations are kind of it's very concerning for homeowner, or let's not even say homeowners, but let's just say mortgage holders or whatever. You know, that because that's really what it is. They try to lie to you. See, like these are certain words, right? And they're words to basically keep people in a very delusional land. So it's like the word middle class. That's a word that people think, okay, yeah, I've arrived, I'm okay, I'm just in the middle. You're really not. And it's like the word homeowner. You literally have to pay a mortgage every month. You got to pay your mortgage. Boom, you got to send it off, or they auto debit from your checking account, whatever the case may be. The reason that you have to do that is because you don't own the home, duh. But they want to give you that title. Yes, you're a homeowner. Okay, how does this work? If I'm a homeowner, that means I don't have to pay out of my checking account every month. Okay, that next month, no, you said I'm a homeowner. You said I'm a homeowner, right? So that means, that mortgage payment I gotta pay every month. I mean that shouldn't be. I shouldn't have to worry about that because I'm a homeowner, right? Yeah. So those are just words that they tell people to just. It's basically they gaslight you. That's being kind for me to say that. Really, they're really trying to scam you into thinking that you're a homeowner or a car owner with a car payment. You're not a car own. You only own what you could fucking take, and nobody can call you and harass you about a payment because you only own what you have a title to, and you still don't own houses because um you got to pay taxes. If you don't pay that tax bill, the county is gonna fucking eat your house up. They're gonna eat you for breakfast, lunch, and dinner if you don't pay them taxes. So it's that's the only thing with that. But yeah, you got a title, deed and title. If you own a home, you got a car title. If you own a car. If you have a mortgage, your deed and title is with the mortgage company. And as soon as you pay it off, yeah, they give you your deed and title, whatever, and send it in the mail, or I don't know how they do it, but they give it to you basically. And the same thing with a car. They mail you your title once you finish paying it off, right? Or paid last car payment or whatever. But you're not a car owner, you're not a homeowner. You should you should feel disrespected if somebody called you a homeowner and you got a mortgage. I mean, almost like really, I ain't gonna go there. Cause I was gonna say when they call a woman an independent woman that's a flex, which is not. April Mason, that's one of the things that she used to say a lot. She said, it's not a flex. It's really insulting if someone says that you're an independent woman, you know. But you're not a homeowner. You only the word ownerships mean you have some type of, you own it, meaning you don't have any payments on it. Just like you go out and you buy a stick of gum, you walk out, you own that stick of gum. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You ain't paying payments on it and all that. Like, you own it. You know what I'm saying? It's yours. You got a receipt. It's yours. You know what I'm saying? It's just like that. Very, very simple concept to understand. But yeah, people will gaslight you. You know, yeah, you're a homeowner. Yeah, make sure you have that payment on the fourth of the month every month. We give you a discount to auto to put it on auto pay. Blah blah blah. No, you're not a homeowner. Don't think that you basically pay the bank to have rights to live in a house for a particular period of time till you pay the bank off. And then really, I don't know I forgot the actual stats as far as how many people actually pay a 30-year loan off. Um, I forgot those actual stats. It's been a minute, but not everybody. I think the typical person lives in a house for on average about 7 to 10 years or something like that. So usually what happens is like people stay in the house, for like 7 years or whatever, 10 years, let's just say 10 years. Then they just basically put it on the market and sell it. I mean, obviously they, only pay like a third of the mortgage payment, right? So they might have some equity in it to where in closing they will get some cash. And what they'll do with that cash usually is they'll take that money, put it on a down payment for another house, and just basically restart the whole 30-year mortgage cycle again with another house, probably something bigger or maybe smaller, depending on what they, want. And somewhere else. I mean, that's what typically people do. They don't pay off a 30-year mortgage. I don't really know what the percentage of people that actually do that, but most people do not do that. 30 years is pretty long of a time, and also people don't even stay in a house for 30 years. So um I don't know. I'll probably look it up, but might post it on my community tab. But most people that just stay in their house for a particular period of time, less than 10 years, and they just resell a house, possibly might get equity out of the house, depending on the market, depending on the house. Then they just take that money, put it into another house, rinse and repeat. But people that actually own the house outright, one of the things that I do know, usually people that own a house outright are older people. When I say older, like 50, I want to say 60 to 50, between the range of probably 50 to 70-year-old people that actually did stay in the house. It is some people that actually, stayed in the house or whatever. Your grandma, she stayed, in the house for like 30 to between 30 to 50 years. She actually did pay the house off. She owns it outright. It was probably she died in the house, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then that was left over to her children, or grandchildren or something like that. And they usually sell the home, you know. And I get it. I mean, you could say grandma's ghost. Grandma actually died in the house. You don't want to be somewhere if somebody died, or you're not really invested in the house, or you don't really like the house, whatever. I mean, I get it because I'm going through the same thing. Family, don't really like the house. The house is ran down because grandma got old, grandpa died. House is in serious disrepair, needs a whole bunch of money to get fixed up. It's got a whole bunch of stuff in the house. Need about 10 dumpsters. It's the same song and dance. And people sell a house if they have some type of owner. If grandma owned the house, and they split the money up, whatever. But um, that's what typically happens as far as if somebody actually own the house outright. Usually, it's somebody old. It's somebody like 80 years old, 70 years old that they pretty much got old in the house, and they had to. A lot of times, people go to nursing homes. Like I remember my friend that's an electrician. He bought his house, nice house, man. Didn't really need much done with it, And he's pretty handy himself. He knows other people that do work, so he didn't really have to do that much to his house. But he spent a lot of money on it because a lot of times you kind of get what you pay for. I mean, I think he spent like 50 grand on his house. It was a brick house. The lady, she kept it well. She kept it up to date as far as like she kept the house in decent shape. But the lady just got old. She got old and she went to a nursing home. You know, um, I don't know how old she was, but you know, he had to spend some money on it because it was a house that was in a fairly decent side of town. Uh, good structure. As far as things. Uh, you know, he spent some pretty good money on it. A lot of times that's worth it. When you spend more money on a house, you don't have this like situation like, okay, like for example, my house, I had to do a full gut renovation. Like it's like that's a lot of work, man. That's like that's basically kind of like reconstruction because okay, when you build a house, you got to start off with a foundation. You got to get a backhoe. If you don't know what a backhoe is, it's basically um it's basically a large machine that it has a shovel, a big shovel on it, and it's really it extends like outward pretty long, and it digs real deep. I mean, it could dig like 20 feet. I mean, you could build a freaking underground shelter if you wanted to, but I think like for houses, it's so many feet that you got to dig below. I think it's like 10 feet or something like that. Not quite sure, but that's what you got to start off. Foundation, cement. You got to put cement. They got to put some some plumbing for sewage and stuff like that. It's a lot to go with that, right? And then you get to the framing, roof and all of that. So it's like, yeah, I mean, with a house that needs a full gut rehab, basically you doing everything to the framing. Like besides framing, you're doing everything else. So it's extensive. So when you spend a little bit more on a house that just basically need some like light renovations or something, it's really worth it, man, because uh the full gut rehab, you might think you getting a deal, but at the end of the day, man, you're gonna spend a lot of you still gonna spend the same amount of money. Like, okay, he spent 50 grand on this house. I'm spending about at the end of the day, probably 60 on mine to fully renovate it because it's a full gut renovation. I ain't get no like shortcuts. I got a cheaper house to, basically be able to purchase. Like, okay, like, yeah, okay, the house was 10 grand, it's a lot cheaper than 50, but I still gotta put 60,000 to get the house fully renovated. So it's like it's still no shortcut. So it's in your best interest to just, okay, if the house is 60, well, I mean, obviously we talking about before he bought his house around the same time. So this was before the housing, costs start, going real high. You can't find nothing like that now. But like back then, it's in your best interest to buy something that maybe is a little bit more costly, but you don't really need that many renovations. You don't need to do no full gut rehab. But I ain't have it like that. He did. I mean, dude is a union electrician, man. They start out at like, I mean, they after you become a journeyman, you make like I think he said like close to $50 an hour or $60 an hour or something like that. Plus, you could get overtime. You know, you could work overtime and you get time and a half. So they making some bank, man. I don't even make that, man. Like the only guys that make money like that in IT is project managers, software developers. If you a net Cisco network engineer, you could make money like that. Possibly even make more than that. Um, if you're an IT manager, possibly, because basically you damn near pretty much making six figures at that point, if not more. But yeah, nobody really wants to be no electrician though. Like that's the funny thing, man. Why is like I mean, why ain't nobody trying to be an electrician, man? I mean, you know, that's what I'm trying to figure out, man. Or even like people ain't even trying to get into IT. I don't know. They always ask me how you get IT. Shit, I got a whole course, man. And it and I'm literally you can get right into it. You can literally slide right into it. But hey, I don't know, man. It's people. I don't know, man. People just. I guess I gotta be like Tariq Nasheed, man. I gotta be a internet marketer. I gotta be like Dr. Umar. I gotta be a better internet marketer, and I struggle with that. You know what I'm saying? We'll be at New York, New Jersey, New York, New Jersey, New York, New Jersey, August 15th. Donations, my brother. Donations. Get your donations. Get your donations together. I got a course too. Buy the course. Buy the course. Buy the course. He say everything three times. It's like maybe I gotta, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know, man. Some of these guys, man. I think that they, hustlers, internet hustlers, but they good at it, man. Because y'all listen to these whacks and really take them serious and give them money. I never gave Tariq Nasheed $1. Neither or Dr. Umar. I mean, I listen to them. I like their videos, probably, or what I'm saying, and content or whatever, probably. But that's about it. Like, but what I'm saying, they good. They good at what they do. You know. I mean, I can't knock the hustle, man. That's just I never did. and I probably never will. But y'all like some of y'all gave them money for sure. I mean, I haven't, but y'all, that's what y'all give them. You know what I'm saying? Everything or whatever. Y'all join the bandwagon. you know, that's what y'all do. Oh man. What I'm starting to find, one of the things that I noticed about people in Indiana, I guess I don't know if it's because it's boredom or I don't know what it is, but it's like they eat themselves like it's a hobby. Like they eat like it's a hobby. Like they just overeat. Like the Indiana, like people, like especially black people in Indiana, just some of the most gluttonous motherfuckers you ever see. Like they just, it's like they eat like this a hot, like it's nothing else to do. It's like, okay, I'm fat as fuck. I just go to the grocery store. I go to the restaurants and I just eat some more. I just eat. Just, I'm already fat as hell. Why not? Just an extra plate of food. Like what harm is it in that? Like, I just eat some more. I'm ready to cook dinner. I already had dinner. I'm gonna go buy some more groceries so I can eat some dinner again. Like, I don't know what the hell. Like, I'm gonna be honest. Like, you ain't gotta worry about me getting that damn fat. Like, cause I mean, it's like, damn me. It's like, okay, when you get to a point, it's like, okay, you need to, fast. You need to cut down a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, not just be like, all right, I'm just gonna eat some more. I'm just gonna just keep. I'm just gonna double down on it. Like, and then another thing is, people. A lot of the reasons why people they have a lot of like fat and stuff, and they overeating, because they got parasites. The parasites make you overeat. Like, then that's why you got a lot of people that they don't even know it. Like, the reason why they like real fat and super fat is because they got parasites. The worms, the worms and parasites literally make you just keep eating, just overeating. Like, and you just can't stop, and you won't understand why you can't stop. It's like because you overran with parasites. And it's like, people don't lot of people don't understand like herbs and stuff. If you fast and you use herbs, like just say detox, like stuff I sell, like I gotta redo my website. I'm transitioning from Shopify. I tried Shopify. I'm going back to GoDaddy, but basically, like some of the stuff that my detox has is like wormwood and certain things to like expel worms. Pumpkin seeds are good too. uh you know these things like help expel worms and parasites. Garlic helps as well, onions. And it's like these things are essential to remove these parasites and get, kind of detoxify your body, and also um get you from, it's why fasting is important. It gets you to stop overeating and stuff like that. And it's like, a lot of that stuff leads to all kind of stuff: high blood pressure, heart issues, heart attack, stroke, um diabetes, cancer. All of these things kind of, are somewhat interrelated. I don't want the YouTube mafia to come after me because you got the YouTube medical mafia. They'll come after you, censor your videos and shit. But trust me, it is something to that as far as those parasites. But um yeah, man, that's all I'm concerned with, man. Wealth, health, what I'm saying, making sure my mind is right, my spirit is right, what I'm saying, like all that other stuff, man. I mean, it's like, man, I mean, it don't make no sense to me, man. What I'm saying, like when you kind of focus your mind to that, it's magical, man. I will say it is magical because it's like a lot of times whatever you focus on is what you put your attention to and get things done. And when you over focus on other things, like for example, I know you probably heard this before. I think it was one of them Chris Rock movies. He said they said basically um it's many men that has chased women and have lost out on money. And it's men that have basically chased money and they ain't lose out on women. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, um, it's kind of like that. Like when you pretty much you're, let's just say, well endowed financially, right? When you're doing well financially, right? I mean, of course you're gonna have fake people that want to come along. You're gonna have the women that is trying to meet you at the finish line and all of that type of stuff. But the thing is this, like, of course everybody want to be your friend and all that crap, but the thing is that you got a good foundation. That's a good financial foundation for not only you, your future children, your current children, whatever. And that's just essential, right? That's if you got some people that they will never have that, right? You probably have parents that never had that, right? um but the thing about you having that is the reason why that's important and reason why that kind of works. No, chasing women thing doesn't necessarily work is because basically you you have not only for what you need for yourself in life, you have what is needed for yourself and a possible family to be, if that's what you want. If not, you whatever you want to do, you want to travel the world, you want to move out of the United States, you want to you know periodically move to different countries or whatever throughout the year. All of that is possible with capital. Without it, you can forget about it. You can forget about a lot of things. If basically if you don't have the capital. So that's just kind of how that is. Like, I mean, I'm not saying you got to be rich to have a family or to have a woman that respects you and all of that type of stuff. That's not what I'm saying. And I'm not saying that you can't get women or pursue women um without having riches and all of that and a whole bunch of money. I mean, you certainly can. um I'm just saying that over focusing on that might be a fool's gambit, in a sense of, if you losing time, opportunity, resources, chasing women, going to bars, going to nightclubs, just constantly pursuing women, you might be, and you're not lucking up on that, you're not doing well in that. I mean, like I say, like, you might be doing the wrong thing. You know what I'm saying? You might be doing the wrong thing. Um, Certainly, I saw at an early age someone that wasn't chasing women. Women was chasing him. And what I'm saying, it was times in my life that I could say I was on some stuff like that, and where it was not, I wasn't chasing women, you know what I'm saying? Women were just around or whatever way. But that's the way to go, in my opinion. Like, if you got women following you and shit like that, man, you doing the right thing, because I can definitely see how chasing women, I mean, don't get me wrong, like, women are to be chased. Like, you being a male, you being a man, you are to a certain extent supposed to pursue women. But the thing is if it's just like over consuming your life, to where you just basically missing out on opportunities and stuff like that, over centering, you know, basically women, and trying to have, um make them, just your center of the universe. Like, just, what I'm saying, that's, you, you might be too enthralled with that, man. I just think that it's nothing wrong, man, if you know what I'm saying, want to have a whole bunch of women or whatever. But if that shit is like making you to a, basically putting you in poverty, that's a bad look, in my opinion. You know, um, and I know it's sometimes like, I just think that most people have more problems than the pursuit or the lack of women or whatever. If you got, what I'm saying, if you got a castle to build, that's what you got to do. You might not have the time, and nor do you, want to put that much time into, other things besides building your castle. That's your main purpose. Like, you got to build your castle before, the cold set in. You don't want to be cold in your castle. You know what I'm saying? You want to have your castle fully built, so you can have, the warmth and the comfort and security of, basically a home. You know what I'm saying? So you trying to take care of what you need to get done. It's just gonna make things a better situation all around. That's just all I'm saying. That's why I'm not, too much concerned about all of that whole thing. I mean, I'm not saying I'm a monk, or I'm talking about go be a monk or anything like that. I'm just saying, you got to get your responsibilities together, and a lot of things will fall in line once you do all those things. I mean, I'm not saying it's gonna magically fall in line, and Madonna is going to appear out of thin air, and then you're gonna have your little baby Jesus or whatever. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, if you got all your other, you know, A's and B's together, and C's, have, pretty much everything together, and you just, you know, your life is a lot more practical and attractive to other women, when you have, your ducks in order. It just always how it is. It's just practical. A lot of times we just kind of follow along with what other people talking about, and you need to do this and chase women, and I call it the pussy contest. And I'm be honest, a lot of men have, walked this earth and died, and left this earth, man. Literally living, eating, sleeping, and breathing that whole pussy contest pursuit, and people that got sick and all that type of stuff, man, that came back to the grave, you know, trying, what I'm saying, preaching, that type of stuff, man. And the thing is this, like, I'm the type of person, man. I'm a deep dude, man, and I talk about, basically sexual mastery. I'm probably the only person just about that I know of, other than probably somebody else. I think it's another dude. I think his name is Master Yao or something like that. Um, I know he talks about it, but most people don't even know who that person is. But you got so much, life force in your body. You only have a certain amount of life force in your body, and when you start to waste that away, you start to literally degrade yourself. Like, that's why some people look older than others, partly, in my opinion. Some people, have bad health, because a lot of that is you wasting your life force away. Masturbation also does that as well. Um, being, over, just wasting your seed. Your seed is power. As a man, your seed is very, very powerful. Just as a woman's eggs is, right? So when you wasting that away, um, you only have so much, to waste. You're like, a battery. Once you waste, you only have so much juice, and then you start to waste away, and then you're, basically a dead cell. You know, and nobody really talks about that. Nobody talks about that side of the game. But that's why I'm here, because I know quite a bit about that, and that's why I talk about, your chi, talk about chi and Jing, and basically your life force, your actually energy, and basically your physiology, your body, your DNA, your blood, your, what I'm saying, your organs, and all of that stuff is interrelated. You born with those things, right? But um your sexual force, which is your gene, you only have so much of that, and you can enhance that and stuff like that. But once you start wasting that away, pretty much, um your body starts degrading. You only you know what I'm saying, you can have you can have so much, you can have too much sex, right? And you could actually die. It's men that, like, they had way too much sex, and they damn near died, or they did die. It's like, I think it's some Russian dude. He had like he was trying to go for some type of world record, and I'm not making this up. He died on trying to have some type of, like, break some Guinness Book of World Record of how much sex he could have or whatever for a 24-hour period or something. And not to mention Michael Jackson's father, Joe Jackson. He went to this tripped out. I mean, he passed away, of course, but Joe, Mr. Joe Jackson, man, went to Brazil, and he he was trying to make up for lost time, man. He was he was trying to, man, make up, like, he was trying to go to town, like he was still, you know in his 20s or something. Man, this dude went to Brazil and damn near almost died. He was trying to fuck like he was still young. He was like, I think he was in his 70s at the time. Man, that dude damn near died, man. He made it. He they was able to revive him, but man, he was overdoing it, and he was already old, but it's like, yeah, man, shit, sex, man, can kill your ass if you expel too much energy at one time, and definitely, like I'm saying, over a period of time, you only have so much of that to give. I mean, eventually, when you get older, you're going to, basically, lose all your sexual energy. You ain't gonna be able to. It's gonna be a time where you're gonna become grandpa, old ass grandpa, that you can't even get it up no more. You ain't gonna even probably try to give it up. And I know people don't want to think about that. As a man, you don't sit around and think about that shit. Like, what is gonna be when you know, basically you turn it into a little boy again. You know what I'm saying? You gonna turn like me, like, basically, if when you get old, you basically turn back into a baby. You start losing your teeth. You can't, you got to eat like soft foods, and obviously you ain't having no sex because you old. You damn near about ready to be on hospice, about ready to, you probably need a caretaker. You know what I'm saying? You're not having no sex, and you're not you're not even capable of, you know what I'm saying? Um you're not even gonna be even thinking about it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, sexual energy and sexual power, you only have so much of it. It's not infinite, it's finite. And you can waste it away. You know what I'm saying? It just, nobody really tells you that. Nobody talks about it. Nobody even thinks about the shit. But people act like everybody's a fucking, like you're gonna be a Power Ranger for all your life, and you're gonna be fucking for all your fucking life. Everybody's gonna get, if you have the privilege enough, to get old, you know, you're gonna get, 80, 90 years old. You're not gonna be able to even, your dick is gonna basically stop having the ability to get hard. You ain't gonna even try to do nothing. You ain't gonna be taking no pills. You ain't gonna, it's gonna be to a point where you just be like, you know what, forget it, and that happens when you get older. When um, it's things you can do health wise to stave off that. It's certain things you could do to, you know, prolong that. Don't get me wrong. I mean, and I talk about that as well. I've talked about that before. But ultimately, when you get old, and the older you get, the more that's going to be kind of difficult. But the thing is that definitely that's a certain level of, energy that is definitely finite, just like life is finite. Um, and I'm just saying, wasting it away, and you know, um, overindulging, doesn't help that. You know, it wastes it away faster. And obviously, your life as well. Your actual life force. So anyway, I pretty much, I think this was a good conversation. I mean, I just, kind of didn't. I knew I was gonna be up for a little while. I decided to grace my presence or whatever for I think it's been about a month or a couple weeks or something like that. But anyway, I'm leave you and basically hope you can get some type of lesson from this this live stream. You know what I'm saying?